I'm Engineer Mike Vera, Station 8 Woodcrest, and this is your report on conditions.
This week, we highlight 5 incidents throughout the county, we explain the importance of hydration, and we give Station 61 in Wildomar a shout out for their entrance into a demolition derby.
Stand by for reporting conditions.
Hi, and thanks for joining CAL FIRE Riverside County Fire Department's Report on Conditions. I'm Tawny Castro. Last week, from June 13th through June 19th, our firefighters responded to 3,626 calls for service. Included in those calls were 2,741 medical emergencies and 114 fire-related calls. Of the fire calls, 29 were vegetation fires and 9 were structure fires. Now let's take a deeper look at a few highlighted incidents from the past week. On the evening of Monday, June 13th, firefighters were dispatched to a reported vegetation fire within the unincorporated area of Desert Hot Springs. The first arriving engine company located the fire at the 66,000 block of 20th Avenue, where a 1-acre fire was burning within a green waste dump. Due to the location of the fire, 20 homes were threatened due to high winds, embercast, and firebrands, which ignited multiple spot fires throughout the area. Fire resources were able to quickly and effectively manage the flames and extinguish the fire overall. Firefighters remained on scene through the night to ensure 100% containment and control of the fire. During the afternoon on Wednesday, June 15th, firefighters arrived at a reported residential fire in the 28,400 block of Nevada Drive in Menifee. Engine 5 from the Quail Valley Station arrived and reported smoke visible from a single-story home. AMR and Riverside County Fire Department paramedics treated an adult female who had exited the house with non-life-threatening injuries. After about 30 minutes, firefighters contained the flames and reported that around 50% of the house suffered fire damage with smoke damage to about 90%. Unfortunately, 1 dog and 1 cat were found deceased during the fire attack. The American Red Cross is assisting 4 adults who were displaced. In the morning hours of Thursday, June 16th, firefighters responded to a traffic collision on westbound Highway 60 just east of Rubidoux Boulevard. The first arriving engine company found a single vehicle over the side of the freeway with a single occupant trapped inside. After stabilizing the vehicle, firefighters extricated the patient using specialized rescue tools. The patient suffered moderate injuries and was transported to an area trauma center. On Friday evening, June 17th, firefighters were dispatched to a vegetation fire near the crossings of Limonite Avenue and El Palomino Drive in Jurupa Valley. Pedley Fire Station arrived to find a well-established fire that was being wind-driven and burning at a moderate rate of spread. The main fire extended into the roof of a nearby commercial store and ignited various spot fires threatening several homes, including an assisted living facility. Firefighters were able to stop the forward rate of spread at about 5 acres and mitigate the threats to all structures. Fire resources remained on scene throughout the night for mop-up and to strengthen containment lines. In the late hours of Saturday, June 18th, firefighters were called to reports of a motorcyclist who veered off the roadway on Rancho California Road in Temecula. When the first engine arrived, they determined that the patient was about 100 feet over the side and utilized a rope rescue system. The motorist was successfully recovered and transported to a local trauma center for treatment.
The Riverside County Fire Department is currently enrolling volunteer reserve firefighters and other vital volunteer roles. Whether you want to start an exciting career in the fire service or just want to serve your community, visit rvcfire.org to find out more.
As we gear up for the summer months, it's more important than ever to stay hydrated. Let's see what Advice Health and Safety Battalion Chief Scott Slumpf has to share.
You can't use thirst as an indicator on when you should hydrate.
As temperatures begin to climb, hydration becomes one of the key components to the overall health and safety of all CAL FIRE Riverside County firefighters.
Every year as the heat starts to climb, we see an increase in heat illness injuries. In fact, already this year, we're seeing it as one of the #1 injuries that our department's facing.
Slumpf says there are 5 elements to combating heat illness: acclimatization, personal monitoring, personal protective equipment, work rest cycles, and proper hydration.
We've got to watch ourselves, pay attention to what our bodies are telling us, and obviously watch our crews and keep each other accountable on that good fluid intake.
By the time you're thirsty, it's too late, Slump says. So monitoring your hydration levels are crucial when exerting yourself on duty.
Monitor your sweat. You know, as you're sweating and you're losing that fluid we're not getting that intake, the minute that we stop sweating is when we have a real problem, and now we're looking at anywhere from heat exhaustion to heat stroke.
The remedy is to hydrate early and often. 1 quart of water an hour is the minimum requirement on average to maintain proper hydration.
Don't be afraid to say something to somebody if you think that they are suffering the effects of heat stress, and ensure that we are being proactive, not reactive to what's going on out there in the field.
We'd like to dedicate this week's Strong Work segment to the crew at Fire Station 61 in Wildomar, who entered into the 30th Annual Burn Foundation Firefighter Demolition Derby. Let's check in with the crew that attended the event on June 12th.
Sunday, June 12th, we participated in the Burn Institute's 30th Annual Firefighter Demolition Derby at the Del Mar Fair. There was 17 teams that entered. It's a head-to-head competition against all different fire departments throughout the state of California, which helps children and victims of burn injury. And it actually takes a lot of work to get the car up to the safety standards of the Derby. It was long hours doing it. It was actually really fun. I've never built a car before. This is the first time I've ever done it, and a lot of guys at the station as well. You know right away that people are teaming up and getting strategy. So beneficial for Battalion 2 or just Riverside County is having more people more involved in this so we can team up and start taking trophies home. So we made it all the way to the main, but didn't progress further than that. Out of 17 teams, we got 9th place. One of the greatest things is the Burn Institute raises about $80,000 to $120,000 a year from this one event. But another benefit of it is we got to do stuff in the city of Wildomar. We got to go out, talk to people and businesses. I had a presentation at City Hall, so everyone was behind the cause, and the support was tremendous. Say thanks to everybody at 61 that has done it, everybody in Battalion 2 that definitely has helped us out, and especially all our sponsors out there. Without those guys, it would be a lot harder.
I'm Michael Stover, Fire Apparatus Technician 2, and this is Did You Know? We're introducing the new County Type 1 fire engine. When listening to feedback from the field and from fleet maintenance, we found that there were some issues that we needed to address. We wanted to make a cleaner, safer, and more reliable piece of equipment for the fleet to use and for the public to have. The benefits of this new apparatus are it'll have a longer service life. It has more safety features for them. It's more ergonomic, so less fatigue, less injuries. We worked really hard to have clean cab so that none of the carcinogens from a fire get inside the cab and are riding with them, as in the past where all of their gear was with them or tools. Some of the things that they'll have to adapt to is the clean cab design of where their gear goes. There's spots in all of the compartments for each individual firefighter, engineer, and captain to put their gear. So it will be a change from having it right there with you to being outside, but the payoff is that you don't have those carcinogens in the cab. In order to accommodate all of the gear and go clean cab design, we had to extend the fire body. Also, the operational needs of the department have grown over the years, requiring more equipment, bigger equipment. So we had to make a larger fire body to accommodate this. The apparatus committee worked very hard taking input from the fleet and from maintenance to build an apparatus that had a long service life, took into account a lot of the issues that were brought up by the fleet, made it ergonomic so that there was less fatigue, less stress on the operators, and it had a long service life due to it being built a little bit heavier duty. We also worked really hard to improve the ride quality, which has always been an issue with fire apparatus because of their designs, and that was one of our main goals in this one. We also wanted to make sure that it didn't have any carcinogens in the cab, that we had equipment in there that would help take any impurifications out of the air, all for the safety. This is really safety driven, the design of this apparatus, and also in instilling confidence in the operators of it.
To stay up to date on current incidents as they happen in Riverside County, be sure to follow @CAL FIRE RRU on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Did you happen to capture any pictures or videos of our firefighters in action? If so, send them our way at rrupio@fire.ca.gov. On behalf of your CAL FIRE Riverside County Fire Department Public Affairs and Community Education Bureau, I'm Tawny Castro. Thanks for watching.